Hello, 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 and what up? And welcome to the CUP Ringside, part of the CUP Network, where we give you the best seat in the house on all things wrestling. And I'm giving you the best seat in the house on all things SmackDown today. Yes, it's me, it's your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva. And I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit up. I am currently just drinking on a little bit of water here because hydration is important. I know you care about that, but I know what you care about more, and that is the cup mug. And all of our cup merch is at lanagcreations.etsy.com. And for me, yeah, I'm gonna do it because why not? Panel full of cup mugs, panel full of cup mugs. It's just me, so always will be a panel full of cup mugs. Period. But you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. If you haven't checked out our Etsy shop, you should because we have some new things in there and some of our other things are great too. So go check out the Etsy shop. We do ship internationally and domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico for sure. So there are no excuses. Get your cup mug, period, or cup merch, period. Um, yeah, we are talking about SmackDown, June the 7th version of SmackDown that happened just last night, as of recording. And we are going to talk all about it. But first, before we dive into it, I need you to do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. It's right down there. Hit it for me. Thank you. I appreciate you. We're trying to build up our I can't talk. We're trying to build up our subscription, and we need you to subscribe to the channel. If you love wrestling, if you love WWE, as of right now, that's how we're talking about WWE. But if we grow, if you see to help us grow, we can talk about other wrestling companies and more in depth with the wrestling whole bit. So if you're down, you know, hit me up. Not hit me up. If you're down, subscribe to this channel so we can grow and then we can give you even better content because we're giving you the best right now, but we can give you even better if we have more subscribers. So hit the subscribe button here and notification bell so you know when we drop videos every single week. We do our weekly shows about SmackDown and Raw and NXT. So we have all of that. Plus, we cover all the PLEs that's happening. Clash of the Castle is coming next, and we will talk about that. Battleground for NXT is Sunday. And if you haven't watched the predictions from our NXT team, you should do that right now. Well, wait until I finish, and then you can go back and watch them. That video will be right here. Bing. And yeah, so go check that out and see if their predictions match your predictions, and then they'll talk about it and do a recap show about it next week. So, but like I said, we're part of a network. We have 3 other channels that you could also go subscribe to. Um, Look in our description below. In our link tree, we have all the links to all of our other channels and our membership channel here on YouTube and on Patreon, if you prefer, where you get early access and exclusive content to all of our exclusive content across all 4 channels. So go check that out. And all of our audio listening links are also down there. So check that out. We appreciate you. We want you. I ain't too proud to beg. I don't mind. Please, please, please follow, subscribe. Because we're trying to get in the algorithm as well. We're trying to get as many views as we can so we can get in the algorithm so we can talk to more people about wrestling like we like, period. And I know some of you guys are gonna be like, what does this girl know about wrestling? Please, let's not do that. I know a lot. I watched wrestling since I was a baby, and I am far, far, far from a little girl now. So I've been watching wrestling my whole entire life. So I am a fan, and I just want y'all to give me a chance, But anyway, we're talking about SmackDown, June 7th, 2024. And wow, wow, wow. That was a lot. I Some things were scheduled to happen that did not happen, but then we saw some things that weren't scheduled to happen ended up happening anyway. So it opened up with the usual recaps about how everything that happened last week and the new bloodline are going to induct uh, Lau into the new bloodline. And everybody's like, oh, Paul Heyman was so nervous. I felt like, to me, it felt like Paul Heyman is just like, this is going to come to a boil at some point. Like, he is going to either get beat up by the new bloodline, they go beat him up, done so, or he is going to leave himself, because I feel like he feels very stifled within the new bloodline, and honestly, it felt like he was being hovered over, helicopter parented by the new bloodline. Every time he would say anything or do anything, they were right there, and I'm like, "What you saying? Oh, you gonna say what we say?" Like, they needed to make sure he was saying the right things, and it just, I don't know. It just, I feel like either the two is gonna happen. Either he gonna get beat up by the bloodline, which I think that's me personally. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think they go beat him up, and it's gonna cause a rift, or maybe that is how we get Roman back or something. I don't know what they're going to actually do, but I feel like Paul Heyman is going to be the catalyst of how Roman is integrated back into the story, or how the original bloodline is going to come back together, maybe of some sort. I don't know. But he was a little nervous, but he laid out what was going to happen and how Lau was going to be officially accepted into the group. And then Tama was named Solo's right hand man. So basically, it's looking like we thought. And Solo is pretty much saying he is the new tribal chief. That's what I feel like. He's the new tribal chief. And even when Roman comes back, he's going to be like, I'm the tribal chief, it, it's going to be an interesting concept. I still find this bloodline story very, very interesting, and I feel like they're playing the long game with it. So I'm okay with it. Like I said, I've been a bloodline girly from the get, so it's good with me. I don't mind it. I don't mind how long this story goes on. I will always like the bloodline. Do I fall into the new bloodline or the OG bloodline? We'll see how that story goes. But I think that's what they're trying to do, split and have a civil war. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what happens. Um, so after more tension happened within the whole, with the accepting Lau and Solo naming Tama as the right hand man, Kevin Owens comes out and he attacks them all by himself. But of course, the number game comes down on him after a while, and then after he was beaten down a little bit, the Street Profits come out for the save, and that sets up the main event for the night, because they were like, we're gonna have to deal with it. Nick Aldis is like, we gonna have to deal with this, and we're gonna deal with it tonight in the main event. That's gonna happen. And so after the break happened, then they went into the next match, which was scheduled at first, supposed to be Jade Cargill against Indy Hartwell. But during the digital daily that we saw, um, Candice LeRae and Indy went to Nick Aldis and was like, no, we wanted to be a tag team match, blah, 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 blah. So it turned into a tag team match with Jade and Bianca against Indy and Candice. The match was fine, but then we had some company, and it was like I'm about to call her Lyra. That's not Lyra. It's Alba Fire and Ilsa Dawn. They came out along with Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler and they were like around the ring. They were there making their presence known. They didn't interfere in the match, but their presence was definitely felt after the match, because the match itself was pretty much standard what we see with Bianca and Jade. They had their double teaming moments, and it was some double teaming moments from Candice and Indy. It was a good solid match. I felt like between the two, nothing's like I said, nothing super spectacular, but nothing boring. Like I didn't find it much boring at all, because anytime Jade and Bianca are on my screen, baby, I am watching. And so I enjoyed the match. Jade and Bianca ended up winning, but they couldn't celebrate long because both Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler and Alba Fire and Ilsa Dawn came and attacked them, which I feel like they're just setting up a fatal four-way match at Clash of the Castle. Okay, cool. For the tag team championships, I still think Bianca and Jade will be successful in that, but that's my prediction that we'll share at Clash of the Castle when that match is announced. But I feel like that's what they're setting this up for, which is fine. I think it's going to be a good match to watch if that's what they do. We do see we got another QR code that happened at during the backstage segment with Paul Heyman and Solo, but I didn't never. Maybe I should. I feel like I should do the QR codes, but I feel like they come so fast. I'm never ready or prepared to, snap it with my phone. But I felt like maybe one day I'll do it and see what it says. But we did get the QR codes, and it was good. It was a good match. It was a good match. But then we have the match between Grayson Waller and Johnny Gargano, because I feel like that is who is going to be next in line for the tag team championships between Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. I think it just has to be Johnny Gargano and Ciampa DIY. I think it has to be them, right? Like, baby. But we saw Waller. The match itself was okay. I think, Johnny Gargano is Mr. Johnny Wrestling, and he did his thing. Grayson was actually not bad. I thought he was going to be a lot worse than what he is, but he's definitely improving and showing some more things that I haven't seen from him, but I kind of liked what I saw. If you remember last week, Austin Theory fought Ciampa, and he lost because he was distracted by something Grayson Waller had said to the announce team and whatever, yada, yada, yada. But this week, Waller was very much into it, and the match itself was good. We had some, great athleticism between the two. Johnny Gargano is just impressive to watch, period. And I enjoy watching when because he's so technical, and so he shows you a lot of moves. But we did see a suicide dive from Gargano, and he hit Austin Theory, and that he scored the win, and not Gargano, but Waller scored the win eventually because he got, after Johnny did the suicide dive and put him back in the ring, he was already a little kind of oof, but he caught him and gave him a finisher, and Austin Theory was a little annoyed that Waller was celebrating and didn't come check on him because he was injured of a suicide dive trying to protect him, and his partner didn't get in the battle. He was celebrating. Me personally, definitely, I think we all see what's going to happen here. This team is not going to last because both of their egos are way too hot to their egos are way too big to stay together. Um, I feel like they will be dropping the belts soon. Maybe a Clash of the Castle. Fingers crossed. I kind of want that. Um, but I think their egos are way too big to actually stay together and be a tag team. But I also feel like this would be a setup for a good feud between the two of them once they do split up, and I'm okay with that. I kind of prefer that. So WWE, let's make that happen for me. Thank you. We see a segment backstage between Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight, and Nick Aldis ended up putting them in a match. I feel like this match took the place of Apollo Crews and Angel Garza because that match did not happen, but it was supposed to happen. So I don't know if they just cut it and was like, nah, we're not doing it, or something happened to one of the performers so they couldn't do it. But that match was that that match took its place into me. So they were showing the next thing we saw was Cody waiting for AJ to get there. But security came and intervened, and the American Nightmare, he was just like, okay, fine. You won't want me standing here waiting on him? I'm gonna go to the ring and we'll talk about it. So he was pissed. Of course he was pissed after last week. Cody is not happy that AJ tricked him to come out there and, you know, do all that and then to attack him. So he was not happy, and he wanted AJ, and he wanted him now. So he went out to the ring and demanded that AJ face him. And so when AJ gets there, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows is with him, and he was like, I don't care what Cody wants. But then 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 Cody Rhodes decided that I want a match with you. And I'm not just talking about any match. I'm talking about a I quit match. And so that kind of tickled AJ's and Nick Aldis's fancy a little bit. More Nick Aldis than anybody. But he was kind of like, oh, I quit match, you say? Okay. I think we could do that. And so he was like, we can do that. And then a brawl broke out, of course, between the three against Cody. And it was like, well, all right. There's the brawl. Here's the fight. I mean, did we expect it not to be a fight? I mean, the man got attacked last week, and the person who attacked him is like, whatever, I don't care what you do. So, no, he's in his face. He's about to go get him. And he got at him. And that's that. I feel like I think that this is the match that I would like to see for Cody. I think this is the route that I like to see for Cody. And I kind of felt like the match that he did with Logan Paul was kind of like not the match that he needed right then, unless it was for both championships. And I felt like since they didn't do it for both championships, it kind of felt kind of flat. I felt AJ Styles' match with Cody at Backlash was much more what the path that Cody needed to go on to show how much of a dominating champion that he is. And so I feel like him facing AJ again at Clash of the Castle is a good match. I think it's going to be a good match because the two of them are good together in the ring. And so I feel like this is the match that this pay-per-view needed for Cody. It is the match for Cody to continue showing that he is a fighting and dominant champion, because I feel like with Logan Paul, it didn't feel like that. Like, I think somebody mentioned, I was watching something and somebody mentioned it shouldn't take three of his finishers to finish off a Logan Paul. Like, it don't take three Cody Cutters to, it doesn't take three of those it shouldn't, because it just shouldn't. Like, we get it when he did it with Roman, because after the story and how long he's been waiting and trying to defeat him, and then getting close and don't and da 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 da. And it's like, you're doing the three of them crossroads to do it, to make sure, like, I'm doing it and I'm doing it again and I'm doing it again to make sure you stay down. If your finisher is the finisher, one should be suffice. If you do it more than once, then it's like, because I'm trying to prove a point. You shouldn't have to prove that point with somebody like a Logan Paul. It just doesn't make any sense. So I felt like this was perfect for. I feel like this match is going to be better for Cody, because I felt like this match was a good match at Backlash, and I don't feel like it's going to disappoint us again, or it won't be a disappointing match this time around. And I feel like with the stakes being the I Quit match, it might be even bigger and better. So I am excited about this match. I think it's going to be a good match when it happens. And so I was okay with it. I was okay with this match. But then we get back, and it's Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight. And Melo looked really good. And see, here's the thing. I think Melo is going to always look good in the match, but I do think they're just trying to put him through his paces a little bit, make him be the cocky, arrogant guy who always thinks he's big stuff. He can do what he wants. And I don't know if it's going to be like a humbling experience that he's going to continue to lose. But I think his win will come. It will come. It will come. I know. And me personally, I just hate it for him, because I feel like he should be winning, because he is good like that. But I understand he is brand new. He just walked in the door. You're going to just go walk in and be the champion, even though you walked in the door and challenged the champion. You put up a good fight. And I feel like that's what they're doing, making sure he puts up good fights with people. Even when he loses, he doesn't really lose. It's not like people don't believe in his skills. It's going to get to a point where he's going to have to start winning now. For my sanity, I need him to start winning now, because I'm getting really annoyed with somebody who's so good, like he is, coming up to the main roster. And but I'm gonna trust the process. I know WWE know what they're doing. I will trust the process. I just hope he's not one of those athletes that get lost in the shuffle, because he does not deserve that. He's really, really good, and he puts up really good matches. And even in this match, it was so good. And he went toe to toe with LA Knight. But he's still LA Knight, and he's getting pushed, and he has to win. He reversed a pin combination, and he got the 3 count. Then he grabbed the headset, and addressed Logan Paul by saying he would come and find him. So that's interesting. This LA Knight Logan Paul feud, sure. I just need y'all to get Carmelo Hayes in the feud that's worthy, and that he wins. That's all. But it was a good match nonetheless. So final match of the night was the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens Street Profits. But before that, Bayley was in the ring doing a promo and was interrupted by Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. And Niven actually came across really intimidating in this in the promo. So shout out to Piper for stepping up. If this match is going to happen in Clash of the Castle, great. Do I think Bayley's going to lose this match? No. But I think it'll be fun to see. I think Piper is stepping into her own and doing really well. And I think having Chelsea as her mouthpiece when she does, or having Chelsea with her is really good, because Chelsea's such a good, she emotes emotion out of you. Either you love her or you don't, but she's good. And I think having her in her corner is a good thing for Piper, because Piper is intimidating, but she doesn't have that personality and then Chelsea has the personality, but not intimidating. So I think they're a perfect pair. So, but it was good. It was a good little promo. So then we go into the match with Kevin Owens and the Street Profits, and against Solo, Tama, and Lau. Um, of course, the energy and the fire that they had at the beginning of SmackDown was the same fire and energy they brought to the end. They were all like very upset that they had to go out and attack each other and fight, and so now they were really ready to fight. And it was good. It was just like I personally I was hooked to the screen. I was just like, okay, what's happening? Ooh, 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 oh, yeah, oh no. It was a lot of action. Uh Dawkins he came out the gate hot, and I was like, yes, and it was good. We saw a lot of spots between all three the spots between each of them, and it was good. Solo took out Ford with a spear and the spike, and got the 3. Well, not the 3. It was disqualified because the Bloodline put K through an announce table with a power bomb, and it was crazy. It was a lot happening, but they ended up getting disqualified because you can't do that. But they get disqualified, so KO and the Profits win, but by DQ. So this feud is far, far, far from over. Um, it was it was awesome. I thought the match was good, and it like I said, I think the beginning the part where Dawkins was just so agile and flying through the air, and nobody that big should be that quick on his feet, but he is, and I am here for it. It was good. I thought it was a good match. Like I said, I think it's far, far from over because why would they why would they um why would they deal with why would they take, this is a good feud. And Kevin Owens ain't gonna quit. Street Profits ain't gonna stop. So we can bet that this feud is gonna go on. How they're going to break it down is Kevin Owens gonna fight Solo at Clash of the Castle? Is it gonna be a 3-on-3 again? I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know what they're gonna do. I can't wait till they announce it because I want to see what's gonna happen. I feel like Clash of the Castle is shaping up to be pretty good. Pretty good. And I can't wait to see what is going to happen. But when it does happen, when we get all the matches, we're going to be back to talk about it here on we're going to on the ringside. We'll talk about all of that, and be sure to stick around and subscribe and follow on your way out because that's it. I don't have nothing else to talk about. That was SmackDown. It was a good show overall. I enjoyed it, and of course, I'm gonna be back watching next week so I can give you all the tea. But that's about it. Like I said, hit the subscribe button on your way out. I appreciate you watching. It's fun. I'm having a great time talking about SmackDown every week. Come back and join me next week so we can talk more about SmackDown. Or you can, if you want to hear about Raw or NXT, we got a panel for you to talk about each of those so you can follow and listen to them as well. And we have 3 other channels that you can follow, ESC TV and our main channel, the Cup Pod, for drag race, reality TV or just TV in general, and Eurovision Song Contest. So follow all of our channels if you like. We appreciate you. Go and check out the descriptions below, and you can follow us on all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I forgot to put the ticker up, but it's okay, you see it. But there we are. You can follow us on all of our socials. You can follow me on my social as well. And that's my right here. That is my Instagram. Down there is my Twitter. You can get your cup merch if you keep scrolling down, lanagcreations.etsy.com, the cup or any of our other cup merch. And yeah, that's it. We're going to get out of here. So check us out. Cheers. Bye.